Kitakubu.
Hey everyone, KitaSean here, so welcome back to another episode of Worth the Roll for Fate Grand Order. In today's video, we'll be focusing on James Moriarty Ruler. We'll be talking about his stats, skills, noble phantasm, team setup, CEs, and of course the command codes, and if he's worth the roll or not. Let's get right to it. James Moriarty is a 5-star limited ruler with a max attack of 10,450, max HP of 14,887, and this is of course without the foes. His star absorption is 102, generation is 10%, MP charge is 0.37%, and defense it's 3%. Command card decks consist of 1 quick, 3 arts, and 1 buster. All cards do 4 hits, and extra does 5 hits. So, being an art servant and having 3 arts card is amazing, but the problem with Moriarty Ruler is that his MP generation is abysmal. 0.37 is really low, so it makes it difficult to loop with his noble phantasm. You really have to try and get it. Like, it's possible, but you're gonna have to really work for it. Let's get into his skills. Skill 1, Mathematical Thinking A, grants him evade for 2 attacks, 3 turns. Ignore evasion for 3 turns, reduces all enemy arts resistance for 3 turns, and reduces arts resistance of enemies with evil alignment for 3 turns from 10 to 20%. The skill is really good. He can protect himself, ignore evasion, and he can do some damage with his arts cards. What also makes the skill really good is that it works well with his noble phantasm. His noble phantasm inflicts the evil alignment trait to enemies after using it, so if you use his MP and then this skill and then you attack, you can do some really good damage with his arts cards, which of course leads to more MP gain. Skill 2 is Slide Rule Weapon B++, increases all of his card types, Quick Buster, Arts Performance, and critical damage from 20 to 30%. Just a generically really strong buff that allows him to do more damage with all of his cards, more critical damage of course, and then of course because it's critical damage, you can do more damage with his Buster, Quick, Arts, and then of course Arts, more MP gain, Quick, more stars. Yeah, this is just a really good buff to have. Skill 3 is Dice Selection EX, charges his MP from 30 to 50%, grants 1 random buff from one of the 2 effects, increase own critical star absorption of arts cards or buster cards, and he gains critical stars. I mean, it's a really interesting skill. The skill will obviously help him out to get his MP faster because of that 50% battery, and it allows him to choose either more crits on his arts or buster card. Of course, more crits means he'll do more damage. His arts cards will also allow him to get more MP gain because of the critical damage, and yeah, this is just an overall really good skill. His passive skills are amazing. Independent Action A increases own critical damage by 10%, Conspiracy Creation EX increases own art and MP damage by 5%, and Panic Cut C+ grants self-charm, confusion, terror, and skill debuff immunity. Panic Cut C+ is such a good passive skill. Like, he's basically immune to all those except for stun, and yeah, I just think it's really good. His append skills. Obviously, first 2 skills we don't really need to talk about because they're the same as all the other servants, but his 3rd skill allows him to increase his own critical attack chance resistance against Lancer classes. Now onto his MP. His MP is pretty ridiculous. It's an AoE Arts MP that deals 150% extra damage against enemies with good alignment, which there are a lot of servants that have that trait. It seals their skills for 1 turn, inflicts evil alignment for 3 turns, and we talked about this earlier when we were talking about his first skill. It works very well with it, and Overcharge effect allows him to increase own MP damage for 1 turn, and this activates first. So yeah, this allows him to do crazy amounts of damage with his MP, and of course again, great synergy with his first skill. Use this MP, do more damage with all his arts cards, and yeah, it's basically just allows them to do really good damage for a ruler. Again, it's going to be difficult to loop with his MP, but if you can consistently use a skill seal on the enemies and even help out servants who do more damage against evil alignment. I also like how they gave him effects that allows him to do more damage, because the ruler class mostly does neutral damage against most classes, so this makes him useful. Obviously, you want Castoria in his team. Arch supports, nothing else to talk about on that. He also works very well with fellow ruler Astrea. They both have great compatibility. I mean, in general, I think James Moriarty really has great compatibility with all these servants. And yeah, she can basically take advantage of that and be a lot stronger attacker. I mean, she's already a great attacker already, but with Moriarty just helps put on the damage with her. The best CEs you want to give Moriarty are anything that allow them to do more damage with his art cards. So you definitely want to put those really strong art CEs on him. And I also think that anything that increases his damage on MP as well. For command codes, I think anything staple is fine, and anything that allows them to do more MP damage. Overall, I do believe James Moriarty is worth the role. Yes, he did get shafted with his MP gain, but again, it is possible to loop with him. You just have to work really hard for it. But I think he's a really great servant that is compatible with many servants in this game. And yeah, I do think he is that hybrid support attacker type, and I think he's just a really great servant overall. So yeah, again, I do think he's worth the role. And yeah, that's basically about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.